Good afternoon, everyone. Confirm you can hear me. If you could please drop an emoji in the comment section just to confirm that you can hear me clearly. You are welcome to the 2026 CEDC Endorsers webinar. It is a pleasure to be with you today. This is just a pre-introduction. We'll start at 12:05 just to allow a few more people to join us. So please just bear with us. At 12:05, we'll kick off. Thank you. All right, good afternoon again. Please confirm you can hear me clearly. Drop a comment, your name, an emoji, anything in the comment section just to confirm that you can hear me clearly. My name is Esther Moma, and I am the lead public relations and corporate social responsibility at SystemSpecs. Thank you very much to every single one of you that are on the call today. It's just so wonderful to know that you're here with us and that you're interested in the webinar, which really is just to give you an insight into how to put together a super excellent essay that is deserving of a winning position at SystemSpecs Children's Day Essay Competition 2026. Without any further ado, I will hand over to my colleague who will walk you through who we are at SystemSpecs and what the CDC is about. These are just pre information that you would need to just have a better understanding of who we are as a brand. So we have a couple of interesting things aligned for you today, just to just connect with us and understand why you're here and how you can make the best of this year's competition. So thank you very much for joining. Kristen, if you're there, please unmute your mic and over to you.
Thank you, Esther. My name is Oluwato Senaro. It's so nice having everyone on this call. Okay, so we're talking about the webinar, and to dive into the conversation further, it's just great that we talk about SystemSpecs. I know you must have been wondering, what is even this brand about? What do they do? We've been seeing your names for some years now. We don't know what you do. So this conversation is to tell you what SystemSpecs is about and how the CDEC even became our CSR initiative. So SystemSpecs was established in 1994. And if you count the years, we are talking about 34 years already. And it started with a vision to be the software institution of reference in Africa. And I can tell you that now we are in Africa and even beyond, spreading our tentacles around with different solutions and products for individuals and businesses. So today we have 4 subsidiaries. We have Human Manager Limited. That is the subsidiary that manage our HR solution, right? So anything that concerns human management, workforce management in organizations, you're trying to know the number of staff you have, you're trying to check their performance, you're trying to manage leave. There's so many things put together for in human manager as a solution. We also have Remita, which is what many of us will be familiar with. Remita is a payment solution for individuals, businesses, and even fintechs, banks, and government. If you ask anyone, the usual first interaction with Remita is that they are trying to pay government, maybe FRSC, even the law, even the tax office, or anything that concerns government. So Remita is the one in charge of everything that concerns payments for individuals, for governments, and for organizations. And we have What a Deal. What a Deal is the center point for lifestyle and commerce in Africa. So you're thinking about tourism, you're thinking about travels, you're thinking about entertainment and events, you're thinking about setting up an online store for your business. We have all of that put together in What a Deal. There's also SystemSpecs Technology. SystemSpecs Technology is the business that develops solutions for organizations and governments. We also have our own solutions in SystemSpecs Technology. There's Fund a Cause. Fund a Cause is like a GoFundMe. It helps you to raise funds for causes that you care about. There's Money Center. Money Center helps you put together different loan options, and it makes it easy for you to decide on the loan you want to request for or go for. Instead of you having to open 2-3 apps comparing loan options, just come to moneycenter.net. Then we have Pouchy. Pouchy is our community solution. We have Pouchy currently operating in universities. We have Pouchy currently operating in estates. So Pouchy helps communities to put together everything they are doing on a digital platform. It helps you to have an overview of all that the community is about. So a quick recap is to say that we have 4 subsidiaries in SystemSpecs Technology, and that is SystemSpecs Holdings Limited. So there's Human Manager, there's Remita, there's What a Deal, and there's SystemSpecs Technology. So over to CDEC. For some of us, this is the first time we're encountering CDEC. We probably do not know that CDEC has been happening since 2020, and it is an initiative that came up since we're looking for a way to encourage children to start thinking of innovative solutions that they can put together to help and make our community a better place. And we've been doing that since 2020 without break. We've gotten engagement and participation from children across Nigeria. So that is re-emphasizing that this is a national competition. It's not just for Lagos and Abuja. It is not just for the Southwest. Every state in Nigeria participates in this competition. And that's to also let you know how competitive it can be, right? When you're having people participating from Adamawa, from Kwara State, they are participating from Lagos State, from Abuja, and every state you can think of. So we have been doing this, and for over 7 years, or let's say even up to the 6th edition, we've been able to have about 10,000 participants across board. That's to let you know the number of lives we've been able to reach and touch positively. And what we put together in CDEC is to help children think about innovative solutions. now to just walk you through what it has looked like or what it has been like since 2020 up to 2025 last year. We've had topics on making Nigeria of our dream possible using technology, security using technology, quality of education using technology, how to how to become better citizens using technology. You would notice across board that one thing is constant. We are always adding technology to the conversation, and this year is no different. We're talking about using technology to make transportation system safer and more effective in Nigeria. So what are the people eligible to participate? They are children between ages 9 and 16. So they have to be in the junior or senior category. So this does not matter the class they are in, as long as they are between the age range, whether in primary or secondary school, they're eligible to participate. We've always also had winners across in both categories, top 3 winners, honor winners, winning school, and some other winning categories that would also enlighten you more on during this session. So, and as I've mentioned earlier, we've had participants from across Nigeria. So this year is not going to be different. We are getting every child in Nigeria, wherever they are from, to also participate. So I'll be handing over to my colleague Esther to walk us through what that is. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tosin. So we're down to the reason why we are here, and that is understanding the topic. Many of you have asked us different questions, a series of questions on what exactly are we trying to achieve with the topic. So I'm just going to give a run through of certain expectations, and then we can ask our questions when the Q&A session begins. Right, so what is the topic? The topic for this year, many of you already know what the topic is: achieving a safer and more effective transportation system in Nigeria through information technology. Information technology is slightly different from technology itself. Information technology is well, you can say it's technology, it's solving problems using technology, but for us, we're looking at how practical you can actually use technology to solve problems beyond building infrastructure, right? We're looking at solving real problems, everyday problems, going beyond the norm, right? Yeah, the things that people would normally have to build, or services or products that you have to develop, So that's I think that's what the key difference is. So information technology for the movement of people and goods. So people and goods, we all move around. We're constantly moving things around as well. Is how effective, how efficient, how safe is it for people and goods to move across the various modes of transportation that we know. So children, or every child, should know that the various problems that we're all aware of, the various problems on the roads, road accidents that we experience from time to time, or we hear about, traffic congestion, cargo theft, loss, insecurity, poor emergency response, safety awareness, there are all sorts of concerns that we're aware of. So we just need to be mindful. First of all, you need to understand what the problems are, and then find a way to solve it using information technology. Like I said, the big idea is not more roads. We're not asking you to tell us you're going to build a road, or you're going to construct a road, or erect more airports in Nigeria. We're talking about smarter systems, right? We want you to use information technology, using data. Information technology is data, digital tools, information that improve how existing systems work. So like I said, it's not you're building highways, you're not building a new airport, you're not buying new buses, you're not using technology in that form, but you're asking you to say, how can you track vehicles digitally? How can you alert drivers, if there is a danger in view? How can you monitor? How can you monitor cargo in real time? What will you do to automate services, emergency response, your calls? What will you do? So just remember 4 key things: track, alert, monitor, automate. You're not building, you're not designing anything new, you're not, buying a new fleet of buses or rebuilding infrastructure. That's not the sort of technology that we're asking you to do to think about. Technology here is more about tracking, it's more about alerting. If you think about Uber is one of the examples that I can use to sort of give you an idea of what you should consider when you're thinking through this topic. And Uber is an app. With the Uber app, you can sit anywhere in your home or anywhere in your office, and a car gets to you in real time. That's because somebody thought about how they can use information technology to solve transportation problems in the world, because Uber is a global application that is accessible anywhere in the world, right? So that's the sort of thinking we want you to, the sort of mindset you should have when you're thinking about this topic. And so it's across all modes of transportation: road, air, water, rail, as many that you can come up with. In your application, in your essay, if you have ideas for all modes of transportation, that's great. If you have for just 2 or 3, that's great. We would like you to explore as many of the modes of transportation as much as possible, so that you can also research as well. Now, another thing that you should be very mindful of when you're writing your essay is that we want you to think as an innovator and act like a citizen. We don't want you to just describe a problem. We want you to be very practical in your understanding of the problem, right? Things that can make Nigeria better. And that's because if you understand that it needs to be realistic, it needs to be practical, it needs to be relevant to our times, you will then be moving even forward to actually solving and making Nigeria better for every single one of us. So if you're a teacher on the call, if you're a parent on the call, or you're a student on the call, please have them, just remember that after writing your essay, the whole objective is for all of us to begin to think like innovators and act like a citizen. The idea behind CDC is to ensure that we raise a new generation of people who are problem solvers and are patriotic enough to invest their time, their mind, and resources in Nigeria, into solving the various challenges that we have. So those are one of the things that I want you to leave you with before I hand over to my colleague. But during the Q&A session, you can, of course, put down your questions. In fact, you can start dropping your questions right now so that we can get a response for you when the Q&A session begins. But I'll just hand over to my colleague who would walk you through the evaluation criteria for in which how we come about the final results for our winners during the May 27th Children's Day announcement ceremony. So please, IK, if you're there, please turn on your mic and please walk us through the evaluation criteria for essays.
Okay, thank you, Esther. I believe that we've really received or gotten a hold or a hang of what the CDEC, the idea behind it, and the business that is backing it, and of course what the goal is and what the vision is. So it is not enough to have good essays written, but of course it's also okay for us to have an idea of what we consider as the means or criteria in judging. So of course, every essay will be judged through these parameters. And actually 5 lenses that we're looking at. We're looking at demonstration of understanding of what the entire topic is. We're looking at the originality of the thoughts. It has to be brought home. We are looking at the presentation techniques of style. which is important as well. We're looking at the technology content, which is key for us as a technology brand. So it is not just having to write an essay because you have, you know how to put syntaxes or put English and grammar together. But of course, being able to demonstrate that you understand what the topic is, being able to understand how the entire scope of the country is, like we just heard a moment ago by Esther, that you think like an innovator and act as a citizen. So these are the things that we also consider. Then finally, we also look at the conclusion and feasibility. How practicable is this? You'll be able to, we are, at this point, we begin to look at how realistic your idea is, or how is this possible or it's just fictional. So we look at all of those things. And when it passes through this lens, we actually call this the first level. Now, there's something that we introduce, which of course we further deepen our credibility and enforce um, what we call our tech champions, how we get our tech champions. So this is key for us because um, at this point we put a one-on-one contact with the writers of the essay. Here the essay writers they come and they defend whatever they've written, and whatever they've written they are able to tell us why, what they are thinking, their thoughts pattern, who helped them, how they came about the ideas. And of course, who knows, there might be some more things here. Say some kids can actually express themselves orally, and here we over time we've seen that happen. So here the judges put a face to whoever has written the essay, and who has the people that have been streamlined and have scaled to the second level. Next. So in the final level of our evaluations is actually selecting our winners. There are four categories of the people that we crown champions, or we call winners. We have the top three winners, which of course for the junior and the senior category, number 1 to 3. Then we have the top 10, which is of course from 4th to 10th, and then we have the top 25. Of course, all of them do enjoy the same gift going away. So for top 3, they go home with cash and gifts. For top 10, they have gifts that they go home with. And then, of course, for top 25, they go home with certificates. And of course, their names are published on our media platforms, both on the papers and other blogs. Then, of course, for winners, we also celebrate winning schools. So, and that is where you come in as well. So, as a teacher or of a school, it's important to understand that if you have more entries from your school, you have the high tendency of having more students win from your school, and then you stand the chance of becoming the winning school. A lot of times we've had schools from the north, from Lagos, from the south, different geopolitical zones in Nigeria win this particular category. So of course, we're also encouraging you to have more entries from your schools, and then you stand the chance of winning this category. I believe that this would help us be able to push more people, more students to write and put in their essay, and not just writing essays, but of course putting good quality essays that can actually make them tech champions. So in a moment, we'll look at what the entire framework of the essay platform looks like. And my colleague Esther will be taking us on that. And then we
Okay, thank you very much, Ike. While I wait for the portal to open up, please, if you have questions, kindly drop them in the comment section so that we can get to them very shortly. Immediately after this, we will then begin with the Q&A session. What I'm trying to do now is just to give you a sense of how to get to the submission portal. So now we are on the submission portal. As you can see, there is a link which we have been circulating since the beginning of this competition. If you have that link, all you need to do is copy it and paste it in your browser. All you need to do is copy it and place it in your browser. Once you want to place it on your browser and you search, this is what you should see. If you see this submission portal should show up like this. And then all you need to do is follow the instructions. You read every page and fill in the fields, the different fields, the different empty spaces where you're supposed to provide your information. So once you've read this, you click on next, and like that, until you're done with every page of the submission portal. It's very easy. I know a lot of people have asked, oh, how do I go about it? What do I need to do? Can I submit on my phone? Can I submit? What device should I use? You can use any device. However, we advise that you use a laptop because it's better for you. And of course, you can see everything clearly. I mean, laptops always work. And if you don't have a laptop, I know a few children who have reached out, they don't have laptops. You can always use a tab or mobile phone. And of course, you can ask people around to help to give you their devices as well. So this is where the submission actually starts. Once you have read all the required information, you've accepted our T&C, then you provide your details and you're good to go. There is a section for submitting your picture. That is important because it's part of what we use to document to get information on who has submitted entries. So your image size should not be more than 1 MB, and there are different applications online that can help you reduce the size of your image so that it's not too large. We don't want to have bulky images downloaded on our portal. Back end. So please ensure that you find the right application online that can help you resize your image. Once you have it less than 1 MB, then not more than 1 MB, then you're good to go. Everything else is a breeze. All you just have to do is provide your information and submit. Please ensure if you're a child on the call, you're a student on the call, please ensure that you have an adult on standby to submit the essay for you, because they are required to provide their details at the end of, just before you submit your essay. So please work with your parents, your teachers, your uncles, your aunties, just have an adult on standby to help you submit. That will be all for the submission portal. My colleague Naya will take your questions. Okay, over to you, Naya.
Thank you very much, Esther. Good afternoon, everyone. If you have questions, please press your unmute and mics and then ask the question. The questions in the chat. 1 second. Okay, the finalist doesn't. This is coming from Felix Chiamanda, and she's asking, or he or she's asking, if a finalist doesn't live in Lagos State, will CDEC cover for the transportation? Depending on what you mean by finalist. So I think we would probably get back to you on that, because it's a finalist we usually award top 10, right? And we still call them finalists. So not all of them will be able to come to Lagos. However, we might be able to cover transportation for first to third. It's not certain. So depending when we get to that route, you will become, if you're a finalist, an email will be sent to you on whether or not transportation will be covered. Felix
Okay.
Amanda, I don't know if that answers your question. If you have another question, please feel free to drop it
Yes. Yes.
in the
Good
chat
afternoon.
box or unmute your mic.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I know someone is trying to speak. If you can speak louder, I can hardly hear you.
Okay. Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Felix Amanda.
Okay. Hi, Felix. Good afternoon. Yes, please.
Okay. Sorry, I wanted to ask if the defense will be done physically.
Come again?
I said I wanted to ask if the defense will be done physically.
But we would get back to you on that. So every year we try to do something new. Sometimes it's physical, sometimes it's virtual. So that will be communicated upon, when we get to that particular stage of the competition.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Yes, Shino Vicente, I see you have your hands up. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
SystemSpecs team. It's nice to be here. And I must thank you guys for what you're doing. So I saw the competition notice online on Facebook. So I teach a kid. So I want the kid to participate. It's not like I work in their school. I don't work in their school. So I want to know if that would be a kind of a disqualification or anything, so that I know how to go around it.
No, it's not a disqualification. So even though you are not a teacher of a particular school, as long as the child in which you are trying to enter into the competition is a student of a school, there is no limitation to, he or she participating in the competition. And you are not limited to just one child. If you also have, nephews, nieces, cousins, neighbors that you would also like to participate in the competition, yes, you can be their endorser, and you are not limited to the number of students that you can endorse for the competition. As long as I say again, as long as they are students of, a school, whether secondary or primary school, depending on their age. I don't know if that answers your question. Yes.
Yes. So one more thing. So while filling the form, I think there is a place where it asks who to contact in their school. Okay, so am I to put my details there? Or to
Yes,
put
yes, you can put your details. It doesn't have to be a contact. So basically what we want is a number or the contact details of whoever it is that endorses the child for the competition. As you know, federal government rule is that you cannot converse with a child under the age of 18 without a parent or supervisor present. So we would love to be communicating with you rather than the child. So if you're the endorser, if you're the person that submitted the essay, just feel free to put your name and your phone number there.
All right, this is noted. Thank you so much.
Okay. Chinwe Felix, you say good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for this presentation. I believe it will go a long way in helping the child to do it right. So the presenters, could you please say something about the method of referencing? I'm sorry, Chinwe, could you please unmute yourself so that I can better understand your question? What you mean by method of referencing? Hello, Chinwe, are you with us? Chinwe, if you can hear me, you might maybe want to put another question, what you mean by method of referencing, so that I can, okay, so you can just type it in the group and then I'll be able to understand what you mean by method of referencing, so I can answer your question appropriately.
Okay, I also have a question in that line.
Okay, please go ahead.
Yes, so I read on your post online that the children should reference where they get their information and all that. So I want to know, should there be also in-text citation in their essay? That's citing within their citing phrases or words inside their essay? Should there be such, or just the reference? Just the reference.
Okay, thank you, Chair, for that question. The reference will be fine. No need to quote citations, from different listings. Just a reference will be okay.
Okay.
Is it possible? Okay, Indigo is asking. I'm sorry, Tina, is that all, or would you like to ask another question?
So finally, the referencing. Are they submitting a document, or just copy and paste the entire text of in their essay into a place provided on the submission portal?
Yes, please. So if you look at the portal that we shared and demonstrated a couple of minutes ago, there's a particular box where they say impute your essay. So of course your essay would have been pre-typed maybe on a Word document or a note or something. So you just copy the entire essay and then just paste it in that particular box. Exactly.
So okay, yeah, go on.
Yeah.
So no emphasis on text, font style, and font size. Just
no emphasis on font style.
Font style and font size.
Okay. Hi. Felix? Is it Felix or Chinarem that's speaking?
Yeah, Chinarem Vincent. Yeah, that's Chinarem Vincent.
Okay, so there is an FAQ page. Have you gone to our FAQ page on our website?
I am not really going
Hannah,
through.
please, can you drop that link in the comment section so that he can quickly open it up? All your questions on referencing, the font type, font size, everything you need to know is on our FAQ page. Now, for the benefit of this conversation, your font type you should use, we have 3 different options: Georgia, Arial, or Calibri. You can use that. Font size 12. And of course, you're using Microsoft Word as the application you type your essay with. For the referencing, just APA style is good. No in-text citation is required. Just make sure that you put all references in the section. That's very different from the word count for your essay. So if it's 1,000 words, focus on your 1,000 words. If it's 1,500 words, focus on that. There is a separate section for referencing, for references. So APA style, you can go online to find out what that looks like. The name of the name of the essay, the author. If you found something online written by someone, you should give reference to the name of the author, the year the publication was or publication was published. If it's a book that you got your information from, you put that in there as well. If possible, you should arrange your references alphabetically. It just gives order to your presentation. And then, of course, you can put the year, the dates, direct quotes, if need be, depending on how much you actually extracted from the author. So just go online. There are a lot of information on how to structure your references when you're using the APA style. It's one of the easiest way to reference. Key things that I've just said are some of the things that you should be mindful of when you're putting your information in that section. And of course, the title of the article, the title of the publication, if there's a journal name or a volume number, just make sure you get as much information as possible from the source that you got your information from, just so that it gives credibility to your work. So that's it. If you have any more questions, please let us know.
Yes, my final question.
Okay.
Yes, my final question. So,
thank you very much, Esther, for the. I want to believe.
If we type if the essay is typed in Word and is copied and pasted in the box, the much I know is that the font size, the font format will change once it's pasted online. So I don't know if you speak to that.
Once you are sure that the font size is exactly what it is on the Word document, feel free to just paste it. So what you need to confirm is that it's this exact font size, the type on your Word document. Once that is done, you can just copy and paste in the box. That's fine.
All right.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Indidigwe, I see you have your hands up.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sorry. I was in another meeting and I came really late.
No
I want
trouble
to
at all.
ask, can we get a recorded version of this meeting for people like me? I am sorry. And
Yes,
my
that's no
child is
trouble. That's no trouble. We
there.
will send it via email. You should be able to get that latest. You get that today, before COB today. So it will be sent to the email. Yes, please.
Then the number of words, I think, is 1,005 or so. With the referencing the part of this calculation?
No, it would not be. And do not forget that the number of words are, specific to the age group. So you have age 8 to 12, 1,000, then 13 to 16, 1,500, 9 to 12.
That's why I just quoted 1,500.
Yeah, so 1,500 is for the senior category, which is 13. And then 9 to 12 is 1,000. Yes, please.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mary Rose. Please hold on while I finish with Ndidi, just to be sure that Ndidi doesn't have any other question, and then I'll come to you.
Oh, okay.
Thank you so much. Yes, please. Ndidi, I just want to confirm that you're done with your questions.
Yes, but I'm confused somewhere. Though I think you were trying to answer, I was logged out, network threw me out. You said just
Okay.
reference fighting. I don't know what you mean by that. And by the time I came back, I hear you mentioning upper style. So I don't know if you can throw more light on that.
Okay. So some students, while they're writing essay competitions, they research, and during their research, they come. Citation means that it's words or things that have been written by somebody which you have imputed in your essay. And what we are trying to do is to be sure of the authenticity of the essay, to be sure that it was not copy and pasted from some other website or something. So if you happen to use word from somebody else's document or somebody else's publication, we just want you to cite it. So for example, I'm going to use your name as an example. So if you're talking about transportation and Indigwe said something maybe 2 or 3 years ago concerning that, and you want to use those exact words, you write it and I just cite it by Indigwe. So we know that it was gotten from this person. So that's what citation means. So it's not a necessity. It's just for those that want to use it.
But the place you indicated what I wrote, I need to number it. Maybe that's the second person you're putting. I need to put in number 2 before coming somewhere to now put the title or something of that my work, right?
You might need to say that again. I think I lost you.
I say, let's say you want to cite my work, and
Okay.
that my work is the third work you're trying to use. So will you put number 3 when you cited that my work, where that's the place you mentioned my work? You need to number it 3 before now coming down somewhere to now put the title of my work, the year, and all that. You need to number it, indicate the
No.
place.
No. All we just need is just a name. Yeah, so even if you are citing in the 5 or 6 times, just put your name. You don't need to number it.
Just put at the end that you cited my work.
Come again?
Just what you need is at the end of my work a list of articles that I cited, not necessarily where I.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So like the name of the article, the author of the article, the date of the article, that's just practically referencing it.
So about I don't need to go and be in the body of the essay indicate the place I cited.
No. And the referencing would also not add to the number of words. We said 1,000, so the referencing is not part of the 1,000 words.
All right. So I'm looking forward to the recorded one. Let me not ask too many questions because I practically missed
I mean, the reason why we are here is for questions to be asked. So if you have any other question, please feel free. It's no such thing
all
as so
right.
many
So,
questions.
okay, if I remember any other one, and of course I'll ask.
No problem. Thank you very much, Ndidi. Hi, Mirios.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mirios. Yes, please. Please go ahead.
So my question is that for the that juniors are writing and seniors are writing too. My question is the prices, is it that it's only for one category or for both of them?
Okay, so we have different prices for both categories, meaning that junior category has its own price and then senior category has its own price.
Okay, so the prices that I saw on the banner, like the flyer that I saw on the email, is it for the senior category or the junior?
What prices did you see? I just want to confirm that you are seeing the right banner.
The one that they drew two kids, one boy, one girl. They wrote the topic achieving a safer transportation system, and then the ages that are allowed to participate and the prizes.
Okay, so the prizes you saw, I'm sure you would have seen first, second, and third prize. It's the same
Yes.
prize that we're giving to the junior category that we're giving to the senior category. So if you see millionaire laptop, so each first position for both junior and senior category will
Okay.
get the
And
money each.
my second question is, as an endorser, I have the opportunity to submit essays for more than two people, right? Or more
There's
than
no
one person.
limit. There's no limit to the number of essays you can submit for somebody. So if you want to submit, say you're a school teacher, you want to submit for your entire class, please feel free. If you want to submit for the entire school, please feel free. Just know that you will be the one responsible for, you'll be the point of contact when we're trying to reach those students. So that's just what it means. So there's no limit to the number of students you can do. If you want to do 100, 200, 300, by all means.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Would that be all, Mirios?
Thank you very much.
Okay, all right, thank you. I don't know if we have any other questions. Please keep the questions coming.
Can you hear? So I want to know. I think somebody asked this question, but I didn't get the response that was given to the person's question.
Okay.
So how do you guide against people, adults writing for children and then children behaving it? How do you guard against that? Will there be a time that the children will defend their thoughts and then where a panel ask them question? I just want to know what your framework is to guide against that, to ensure that the original thought is coming from the child.
So if I'm hearing your question right, you're asking how do we guide against ensuring that endorsers are not the ones that write these essays on behalf of the children?
Yes. That the
Okay.
original thought
At that
from,
of the children.
yes.
Okay, so we do have a panel of very experienced judges who have vast experience with dealing with children and understanding their frame of mind and thoughts. So that would be the first level. The judges usually do that. And by the second level evaluation, which my colleague had mentioned, is we're going to have a conversation with these students, and it's going to be a video conversation. So it's not something that we are doing, you're writing. It's going to be more like a conversation that you'll be having with the judges where they would ask you questions concerning the essay that you wrote. So that's why we have two levels of evaluation to be sure that these children are the ones that wrote these essays.
So the video conversation you have with the child, will you have it as a really be every child, or there's a particular day that will be set that will be picked by the endorser for a particular child, or you set the day and every child turn up on that day?
Okay, so let me use last year as a basis to answer this question, because like I mentioned before, every year we try to do something new. Every year we try to do better than what we did last year. So I'm going to use last year as a reference to answer this question. So for last year, the students that got, that immersed in the second level evaluation, the endorsers were contacted and were given 3 different days with different time slots that will be convenient for both themselves and the child to come for this interview. So you have, say, for example, day 1, day 2, day 3, and you have time slots from, I think, was between 9 to 4 p.m. You have to choose your convenient time slot. And first come, first serve basis. It means that the email was sent to everybody at once. And if that time slot has been chosen by another endorser, an email will be sent to you just letting you know the other time slots that are available. So we try as much as possible to be flexible, to work with both the timing of the children and the endorser, so that the child can feel very comfortable, very calm during the interview process. So I don't know if that answers your question.
Okay, finally, is it physical? Will they come for the defense of it?
Virtual. It's a virtual. It's a virtual.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
So sorry, that's all the time we have for today. But please feel free to send emails. We're very, very, very much available via email. You can send your questions, concerns via email. There's also a WhatsApp number in which I'm going to drop also on this chat group. You can also send us a WhatsApp message or call us if you have any questions concerning the CDEC competition, and we'll have a colleague or representative of the CDEC team respond to you almost immediately. Thank you guys so much for joining us for this webinar. We hope that you've been able to, gain a lot. We hope we've been able to answer most of your questions and concerning the upcoming competition. And we look forward to receiving your entries and selecting a winner. Thank you. So I'll hand over to Esther. Esther.
Thank you, Noe. Thank you so much. So if you're listening, please, let's take the number down, the WhatsApp number. I think it's important that you're able to reach out to us directly on WhatsApp if you have any more questions. I think my colleague can also drop the number in the chat. Hannah, if you could please help me drop the WhatsApp number in the chat. It's in the chat box. So that if you're having any questions, you have any more questions, you can just quickly call us and also connect with us on our channel. One thing I want to emphasize, the word count is 1,000 for 9 to 12. And for those that are 13 to 16 is 1,500. That is the maximum. So please don't labor yourself trying to get up to 1,000 or 1,500. If you have 600 words, I think that's fair. If you have even 800 words, that's fair. But just make sure that your essay is rich. It follows the various criteria that my colleague mentioned. You may want to visit our website for everything. Everything we have talked about today is on our website. So please visit our website to get all of that information. You will also find that available on the submission portal itself. We have a breakdown of what the judges are looking out for. So once you're submitting your essay, you will see it, and then of course you can always just cross-check again to be sure that you're in alignment with what is required. So please visit our website, be familiar with the submission portal so that your essay is in the right shape for a big win. And of course, you can always reach out to us when you have any questions. And please also let every other person around you know that we have this essay competition ongoing. You never know whose life you will transform. It's not just about the students or the children closest to you, or your family members. You know, you never know. I was in a conversation with a teacher yesterday, and her husband was responsible for the win 2022. The first position, the senior category was handled by her husband, and now she's a teacher, and she's also trying to help other students because she believes in what we're doing and believes that more children should have an opportunity. So to think beyond yourself, think beyond the children within your neighborhood or within your school community, and partner with us as transformative, as people who are, strong on actually making Nigeria better, because it's all about Nigeria, it's all about innovation, it's all about transformation, it's all about nation building. By the time you go through the process of walking these children through the essay, something has shifted. Something will definitely shift in their minds. So please encourage as many children, as many students that you know, especially the really bright ones who are very energetic and have a lot to give, just have a lot of ideas and very, very active, and they want to contribute. Those are the kind of children that you should definitely engage. So please, we encourage you to do as much work for us as well as much as you're also engaging with your own students and your own children. Thank you very, very much for joining us. This has been a very, very productive time. 1 hour already. I think we had planned 45 minutes, but we've done much more than expected. Thank you for everyone that has engaged with us. The questions, we've heard them. Noe has been able to respond to them as effectively as possible. We really appreciate your support. Have a wonderful afternoon. Bye-bye.